Hey everyone, my name's Kristen and welcome to my cathedral garden. If you're new here, I'm so excited that you're here. I'm a former elementary teacher who is now a homeschool mama to her 4 kids. This past year we had a 5th grader, a 3rd grader, a 1st grader, and a 4-year-old. So needless to say, I've kind of figured out what are the things that I need in my little homeschool mom kit to survive, and I'm going to share those with you today, so stick around. Before we begin, I do need to let you guys know this video is a collaboration. It is hosted by Anna from over at Just Making It Work, and she has invited me along with a bunch of other homeschool mamas to come and say what we think our homeschool moms must-have list is. And so I'm really excited about this video, and I cannot wait to see what all the other mamas have as what they need to head into a school year and to be ready and to finish it strong. So let's get into it. Thank you so much, Anna, for hosting this collab. I thought it would be just a little bit easier if I went ahead and broke up what I thought I needed to have in my little bag of tricks into 3 different categories. So I have physical. What are the physical things I feel like I need in order to survive a homeschool year? What are the emotional things I need to survive the homeschool year? And then what are the spiritual things I need in order to survive the homeschool year? So let's get going. Physical objects. What are these things that are tangible that I feel like I need to have in my arsenal in order to head into a homeschool year? Well, the first one I feel like is going to be everybody's first one, and that is coffee. You guys, coffee is just so good. I am kind of a funny little side note. I actually did not start drinking coffee until after we had our 4th baby, but I love it now. I can't believe I went so long without it. And you guys know, if you've watched any of my day in the lives, I'll link some of them right up here. If you have watched any of those, you know I do like to have mine just a little bit decadent because I put whipped cream in my coffee instead of creamer. So I have a little bit of sugar and some whipped cream, and it just makes it just a little bit special in the mornings. And as a homeschool mom, I'm looking for all these little ways in order to make something special for myself as well as my kids, because otherwise it can just get a little bit hard. So definitely I'm gonna need some coffee when I first wake up. It's a good reason to get out of the bed. It's warm, it smells good, all of those things. So coffee is very first on my list. Next on my list would be a planner. And you guys, I actually used this entire planner this entire year. I cannot say that about myself at all. Now, I am an office supplies nerd. I love office supplies. I love planners, pens, notebooks, you name it, I want it. So I have bought a bunch of planners, but this is the only one I have kept up with and used throughout the year, and I'm so proud of myself. This one actually came from Target. It is the Day Designer. I do have a video, I'll link it up at the top, and it is the daily planner. So it had, of course, a monthly layout, but then it went through and had a daily sheet, a sheet for every single day in that month. And I think that that was the game changer for me. Now that, I've had friends say that gets too in the weeds. That's too much, I couldn't do that. And if, you know what, if that's too much for you, that's fine. Along with a planner, I would say have some good pens. I am, once again, office supply nerd. I love myself a good pen. I know people really like the flare pens. I have started to really like the very fine point pens that you can get off Amazon. I'll link them down below in the description, but good pens. And then I love these little, let's see if I have one. Yeah, these little gel highlighters. They're called, I use mine in my Bible, but I also will use it in my planner. And it's not a marker, it's like a gel something. I'm sure you've heard of these. I love those. So I would encourage you to invest in some fun pens that make you want to write stuff down in your planner and that you will keep up with and have for just you, and to have those somewhere that is accessible but not so accessible that other little hands get them. Moving onward, I've got to say one of my must-haves as a homeschool mama going into the school year is a printer. I know that that is not everyone's cup of tea. A lot of people homeschool without one, and that is just fine, but I do love my Epson EcoTank printer. I bought it a couple years ago and I still have not had to refill the ink, and we've printed quite a bit of stuff and curriculum from it. So I definitely think having a printer is necessary. Along with my printer, I know for a fact that I could not homeschool without my laptop. I use that pretty much on the daily in order to check certain curriculum. Sometimes whenever I'm printing out curriculum that I bought online, I won't print out the teacher's guide. I'll instead just leave it on my laptop. I use it to mark out our schedules and emails and all kinds of other stuff. So I definitely need a laptop or an iPad or something of that nature. A laptop just happens to be what we own, so that is what I use. But another one that actually really surprised me that I needed to put on this list was a portable speaker. Now, we have the Amazon Alexas around our house, but this also was a gift to my 11-year-old this past Christmas, and it has worked out so good. I love it. We use it to listen to audiobooks when we go outside or around the house if I can't get the Alexas to hook up to it or whatever. So I would definitely encourage you to have some kind of speaker. When we are working on schoolwork, I do have classical music or instrumental music playing in the background pretty much constantly. So that is something that definitely is part of our homeschool and something that I like to have on hand. I also have a pair of earbuds that I use. I will put just one in, and that is how I can listen to an audiobook maybe between lessons or as I'm loading and unloading the dishwasher, or talk on the phone hands-free or any of that kind of stuff. I love my headphones as well. Let's move on to emotional things. What are the things I need for my own sanity, my own emotions? And that would be chocolate for number one. Your girl loves herself some sweets, specifically chocolate. I feel like it is my reward to myself for getting whatever done. Now, call that what you want. I try not to do it too much, but I keep like those little Dove or Hershey's Kisses every once in a while, and I'll just pull out one when I feel like I need it. So chocolate is a must for sure. I'm gonna move on into my homeschool community. Definitely find this, and you might be surprised to learn that my homeschool community is actually not here physically with me. My homeschool community I have found online through YouTube and making friends there, as well as on Instagram. They are where I get inspiration. I talk to these ladies regularly through Marco Polo and things like that, and I just get such a benefit from reading and listening to and discussing with and following these ladies in their homeschool journeys. I know that I'm not alone. I get new ideas, I ask questions, and it is just such a sweet, sweet community and sweet space. Now, that's not to say you don't need your own homeschool community. I do have friends around me that homeschool, but we're not all in one thing, such as a co-op or anything like that. So definitely have a place where you have like-minded people that you are at least listening to or are in agreement with, like on YouTube. I also want to say I do need my friends, my physical friends, not just my ones online, although I do love my ladies online. People that know me and know my children and my family in real life. They see my ups, they see my downs. A lot of mine are friends from church. I would encourage you that if you don't have a group of friends or a friend or a community, I would encourage you to search that out. I would say The next thing I would need for my mom survival kit is my thing that I do for me. I know as a homeschool mama, you are pouring yourself out so much. And a lot of the times our wants and desires can kind of get left behind or take last place sometimes. And so I have something that is just for me. Now, sometimes other people use it and it's a benefit, but I have my audiobook subscription. We use Scribd. It's SCRIBD. I'll link it down below as well. And it is just a collection like Audible, kind of, but instead of buying the audiobook, you rent it, kind of like Hoopla, but without the limits. It is, I believe, $8.99 per month, and while I don't have anything else that comes out on subscription for myself personally, I do have that every month, and that is kind of my guilt-free thing that I do for me. Another thing that I would say emotionally that I have to have is my why and my goals for the year. A lot of the time you can get to November, January, February and go, oh man, why am I doing this? I mean, shoot, you can even do that in August at the beginning of the school year when it's so overwhelming. Why am I doing this? You know, it seems so much easier over there. That grass is green. And so if you know that this is what the Lord has called you to, I would just encourage you to write that down and to write out somewhere, whether it's like in your planner or some place that you won't lose it. Maybe it's in your Bible, that the reason why you're doing what you're doing. When was your calling? Did you have one specifically that, hey, this is what we're going to do. We are going to homeschool full time and we're going to go into this. And write down your reasons for why you're doing it. Lastly, let's talk about our spiritual things. What are the things for me spiritually that I need in my homeschool mama survival kit in order to make it through the school year? The first thing I'm gonna say is my little mom chair that I have set up in my living room. I have a video, I'm gonna link it right here, showing you this space in my house, but basically it is just a chair in my living room, and I've got my little end table there that I searched for a while for because it had to have specific things that I wanted in it, and it is my space just for me. Really, no one else sits there. And that is where I will do my quiet time and my journaling, planning out our meals for the day, reading. It is just my sacred space. And I believe it was Sally Clarkson I read a while back that said she created that within her room. She had her chair with her favorite tea and a book, and she just created a space for herself. And so I tried to do the same thing. But guys, this is the first year I've ever had that. Other years I've made that space somewhere else. Maybe it was a little more unconventional. For a long time it was in our bedroom, on our bed. And that's totally okay. It doesn't have to look a certain way. It's just the atmosphere that you create for yourself. So definitely I would say my little mom corner. And over at that little mom corner, I have got my Bible, of course, but I also have a study of some sort, whether we are going through it with my church or just on my own. And this doesn't have to be expensive. I have done Bible study fellowship studies, and that is a Bible study that is worldwide. So look up BSF International if you're interested. It's free and it is phenomenal. These are Bible studies from the Daily Grace Co., and they will do a $5 sale pretty frequently, and they are great. Just a study of some sort of something that I'm going through, either with my church or on my own. Usually stays there in my little end table, as well as my prayer journal. And I believe I have a video that outlines how I use this as well. If so, I'll link it up here. But that stays over there as well. And those two things are both, the study and my prayer journal, are both part of what I need spiritually in my mom survival kit. So one of the things that I do every year before I start any school year without fail is I will read Teaching from Rest by Sarah Mackenzie. It is the fire behind my homeschool year. It fills my heart up, it fuels me, and it gets me excited for the year, as well as reassures me that I can do this. I can do this. And I will read that for sure once a year, usually right before I begin the school year, and I will fill out the little guide that it comes with. And a lot of the time, around December, January, February, I'll pull it out again because I need a reminder. There you have it, the very sparse, pared down tools that I will put in my toolkit for a homeschool mama's survival. It's not a lot, but for me, these are the things that I feel like are a complete and total necessity. Thank you so much, Anna, for hosting this. This was such a fun thing to think about, and I can't wait to see all the things I'm sure that I forgot, but I'm going to be like, oh, that's such a good idea. Why didn't I think of that? I'm going to add that in. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm so excited to be back. It's been a while, I'm not gonna lie. It's been a minute since I've had a new video out, and to be honest, there have been so many things happening in our family, so many changes that are so good, and I am so excited to share those with y'all. I can't wait. So definitely make sure that you subscribe or turn on that little notification bell, because all those updates are going to be coming here pretty quickly. And they're all exciting and good. So definitely, if you're interested, make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss out on it. All right, until next time, bye guys.